All right, good morning from Raymer Wood Country here in Apex, North Carolina. This is what we got going on. See, I just wanted to give y'all an understanding or a little visual here of the lean-to that we have on our old horse barn. My parents inherited this property and it came with a horse barn, and it's a nice horse barn. And look at this lean-to, pretty awesome. So in the past, I've kept some stacks in the lean-to, but over time, as I've learned how to season wood properly, I have been storing it out in the field, and full sun, the wind, all the seasons, all that good stuff. But we are getting so much rain, and I really just can't afford to put tarps everywhere on top of all my piles. I have not had a problem with this, but it's getting ready to be firewood burning season. I cannot afford to be delivering my wet firewood. See how dark those pieces are, especially facing the north end. Here, yeah. Anyway, these are kind of newer piles over here. And you kind of get an idea of the lean-to, the size of the lean-to. Look at that. Pretty nice. So what I'm going to start doing, see, that firewood is still wet, and I'm not going to put that in the lean-to. But what I am going to do, I'm going to start stacking some firewood in here that is already seasoned in rows, kind of going from back to front this direction. It kind of slopes. There's just a dirt floor in there. It slopes towards this direction. So I'm going to be stacking it this direction here, and that way if it does fall over, it'll be falling over that way, because I've stacked it this way before, left or right, and all of it will start falling towards me unless I brace it with pallets and everything else. So we'll just see how that works out. I'm just constantly doing different stuff, y'all know that. And there's lots of much more experienced people with the firewood stuff than I am. This is just old wood right here that, honestly, I was going to use it because it's smaller rounds. This is like branch wood. I was just going to use it for smoking wood and that kind of stuff. Got a little pecan in there, and some oak, some cherry. What else? There is some muscle wood in there. I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with that muscle wood. It's like a little small underwood. It's a small understory tree that we have growing quite a bit in our forests. And this is all smoking wood right here, chunk firewood. It's a real nice piece. What do you think about that? Add a little mold to your tasting pleasure there, maybe. A little fun guy. A little wormy wood there. See on the other side? A little bit of purple mold there. All right. So, but all this stuff is dry, but some of it's a little, probably wouldn't be selling that right there, right? Probably not. Probably cut it off right there somewhere. This is all hickory up here, reaching there. Probably should have. Hickory. Good stuff. This is all just, who knows what all this stuff is. That is like 8-inch pieces right here of elm. It's all elm. This is all cedar kindling. That is all fat wood. As my grandfather used to call it, light wood. Right there. The old heartwood of the pine trees that lay on the forest floor. It's pretty cool. Great for starting fires, and all this is light wood also, fat wood. All right, so we will be splitting. I'm going to go ahead and split some of these rounds right here. I do want to see the moisture content. They've been in here for maybe 3 years, all this stuff. I would like to use it if I can, but some of it's like 24 inches long. What are you going to do with that? This is beautiful stuff that is probably close to 2.5, 3 years old. but it's kind of close to the overhang here. And that bottom row, especially the soft, red maple, it will absorb in the ends, just even when it kind of splashes off the eave here of the roof. Splash, it'll hit this little ground gutter here, and then it will kind of splash and hit, even probably the wind-driven rain and stuff too. You can kind of see the overhang. It's quite a bit of overhang beyond my firewood where it's stacked, but it'll still hit kind of the lower rows here. So when I do stack it, I'll be stacking further back. Anyway, constantly doing stuff out here, y'all. Just trying to figure it out. I mean, look at this piece right here of ironwood. That thing right there is probably 2 feet long. Ironwood, muscle wood, that's what we call it around here. Look at the grain. Like, it's hard to even tell the grain of this stuff. You can see where it splits off the pith in the center there. But this stuff is super dense. They say the branch wood or the trunk of the tree looks kind of like tendons. Y'all see that? Kind of looks like tendons a little bit. I really can't see it. It's so, I mean, the glare is awful. Anyway, down here, you see that? That's why they call it muscle wood. I think it's just a common name. Ironwood's another one. There's several different types of ironwood. Really dry. And what I have realized, some of this stuff, so like, if I were to leave this outside, this red maple, it's been underneath that lean-to this whole time since I've split it. You see that's kind of dead right there? Spalting, whatever, here. Right here. Let's see that. A little closer. Yeah. So if I were to leave that, which gets kind of punky, if I were to leave that outside, that would just stay wet forever. But since I've had it under my lean-to this whole time, nice and dry, sweet gum's actually done okay under the lean-to. I think you keep this outside, you'll be in trouble with the sweet gum. But that's pretty. No mold. Like a kind of a pale yellow color. Gosh, everything looks yellow with that. There we go, with that glare. But that's sweet gum. Say hey to the sweet gum. It's a lot of work to split this. All right, y'all, so I have some pallets on the floor, and I will be stacking towards the back of the lean-to, towards the barn wall there. That's what I plan on doing. That way I can have nice dry firewood and not just picking it out of the pile that sometimes gets wet out in the yard. It's ready to go. Some of it's like this right here. Look at that. Good sized piece. Big old piece. This is ironwood. This is a little too long, so I'm gonna probably take my miter saw and cut that down to 16 inches. This guy right here is what I'm getting ready to split. It's about 17, 18 inches long. This stuff right here is extremely difficult to split, especially when it gets dry. We'll see if we can do it though. Ooh, maybe it's easier to split when it's dry. Maybe. I didn't split it quite in half. That'll give you an idea. This is really good stuff though. It burns great. Let's see what the moisture reading is here. 17%. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right. All right. Just just putting it here temporarily. That way I can make room and get rid of all this stuff back here. Put some more pallets behind it. That way I can stack towards the wall of the barn. That would be great. See what happens. See what happens. This stuff right here, I don't know if I'm going to cut that off because look at that. Good luck trying to split that corkscrew like that. Look at that. You can see where that vine just wrapped around there. A great vine in the woods. Y'all want to know what firewood guys go through and what bugs can do to the wood being stored in the lean-to? Bugs are nice and cozy in there. All right. So this is pecan right here. Look at this. I mean, look at that. Ooh, pop my face a little bit. See all those little tunnels from the bugs? They love it. They love getting under that bark, eating away at that cambium layer up underneath there. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet in the wood yard, in the lean-to. Pecan. Beautiful pecan. All right, that's what I got done so far. It was not a mess, but I just organized it differently. It was a mess behind here, behind the firewood holder that I kind of made out of cinder blocks and timbers and whatever else. But this is what it looks like now. I got a lot of stuff over there. I found these bolts that are massive. I'll show you. So my parents, like I said, inherited this property. Look how big that thing is. Look how big that bolt is right there. It'd be good for a tractor. I wonder if it's for like something like tractor wheels or hubcaps on the wheels or rims, or I have no idea. But look how big that is. Look at how big this nut is right here. Look at that thing. Whew. I don't know. I have a Ford Jubilee tractor, as y'all know. Here's some implements. That looks pretty massive for my Ford Jubilee. I don't know if that is rated for that or not. And this this blade right here. That's a pretty large blade as well. I mean, it'd be great if I can use it. I'd have to first figure out how to use it because I've never used it before. Got a lot of pallets over here. I'm planning on cleaning that up. And so I'm going to stack. This is all my dry firewood. Hadn't been out in the rain, in the elements. And so I have this to do. I'm gonna plan on putting pallets down behind it all the way to that back wall. And this right here. When I first started bucking wood for firewood, I don't even know why I decided to do this. This is a monster log. Like something like that size right there. I don't know how I even measured that because that's a monster. I'll show y'all how long that is. So I'm gonna have to use my miter saw like I said earlier. Look at that bad boy. 22.5 inches. Man. So most of that stuff in there is 22.5, and it is dry, which is awesome burning wood. I have some pecan in there, or if you're from New Orleans, at least my father-in-law would say pecan. I have some pecan right here. You know, here's some more pecan. Anyway, good stuff. So I got all that to do, and whatever I have left over, if they're 22.5, I'm gonna make it 16, so I have a little bit extra left over for, I may just cut it even further in half, 6.5 inches or so, and so I'll make some either smoking wood with it or something. I got to figure out what to do. So here we go. Put down the pallets and start stacking up some of this dry wood back to that back wall.